Yeah, 1.23, man.
That's some good G-forces right there.
Because you were 1.16 and 1.05. So now you got left 1.16 and now 1.23 on the other side.
Yeah.
And a full G, 1.06 brakes.
Yeah, the paddles made a huge difference. Huge difference in the performance. The car, the tone of the car, actually, I was kind of, when I was shifting, I was kind of doing it off just timing, because the engine doesn't really give you a clue that it's at the top. Like, most engines get real raspy near the top. Yours is just the whole time.
Yeah,
it gets louder.
Yeah,
it just gets louder.
The tone changes. That's about it.
Yeah, it doesn't like change in pitch, where normally you can hear a pitch change and you're like, ah, I'm at the red line. You know, there's like 500 before the red line. Most engines have a pitch change. This engine is just making power still, all the way to the very end, till you hit the fuel cut.
That's why I got pissed off at that guy at the dyno, man, because he revved it to 5,200 RPMs and shut it off, and he's trying to tell me, oh yeah, how many horsepower? 700? Nah, not even. You're like 610 or something like that. I'm like, whatever, man. The freaking peak power on this thing is 6,200 RPM. You shorted it a whole 1,000 RPM. Yeah. And you wonder where the other horsepower went.
Exactly. And yeah, 1,000 RPM for 7.
Because Ernie's running the same horsepower with his tune that this one has, and we're both equal when we race at the time, and yet the guy's trying to say that Ernie's car has like 45, 50 more horsepower than mine. I'm like, ah, dude, you just don't know what you're doing. I'm glad he only charged me like 20 euro to put it on the tune, on a dyno. I will give grief to M3 drivers, but after riding one of those cars on the ring,
they drive.
Oh man, this thing is just a freaking.
It's made for the ring.
It's a surgeon's scalpel. It's compared to a sledgehammer like this thing.
Look at he's shifting for no reason.
I'm trying to grab
it. Still an eco move?
Nah, you're in balls hanging out mode right now. You see the little green leaf on the heads up. I think it's hilarious that this thing has an eco mode.
Well, it's for the
what's funny is it doesn't do anything for your gas mileage.
Really?
There's everybody's driven road and track, popular mechanics. They all did studies. Driving it everyday use in eco and everyday use in sport mode, like you're in right now. There's maybe a half mile per gallon difference. Maybe. In fact, one of them actually got it in better gas mileage in sport mode than in eco. Makes no sense. The only thing I like about eco is putting the transmission in that mode. It doesn't hold the revs when you're just trying to just casually cruise. I don't like the softer suspension because it kind of rolls a little bit in some of the long sweeping turns. And I'm used to driving it all the time in sport, so I like it a little bit tighter. But I definitely don't like how it'll hold revs. It just kind of wears on you when you're not trying to drive fast. M3 drivers.
Loving that paddle shift right now.
I thought for sure I was gonna rip this thing out the roof.
I actually kind of heard it creaking. Like in the back of my mind, I heard it creaking.
My arm literally had tennis elbow.
Well, I mean, you were...
I was trying
how much do you weigh?
I was trying not to snuggle with you over there, man, because you were... The G meter proved it.
How much you weigh, like 220?
No, 250.
So, well, there you go. So,
yeah.
So your arm was trying to restrain like 470 pounds.
I'm not gonna worry about not doing arms tomorrow. I'll go downstairs in the basement and do left arms tomorrow. That's about it.
You got about 400 pounds of resistance going on. That's a hell of an ocean handle. Because that was 1.2 G's worth of your body mass right there, or at least a G.
Yeah.
Around these corners, because I was giving it to her today.
Yeah, you can definitely hear a difference in the tire noise today on both our laps. Me, just because I was just doing shit I shouldn't be doing. I wasn't as smooth, but you, because you were pushing the crap out of it.
On the, like, okay, let's say today if I was like I put my game face on, right? Then after a lap like that, noticing how greasy the tires were, I would have dropped the pressure.
Yeah.
So drop the pressure.
So what?
Just 5 pounds.
So down like mid 30s.
I would want, because here's the general rule of thumb is that if you drive at typical race pace or pretty fast, the way we're doing that today, you're gonna jump 10 pounds of pressure. So you saw we got off the track, we were
about 6,
7 pounds of pressure. Yeah. So not
especially
quite
after
there.
your lap.
Right. So you think you jump down to 35 cold, right? And then you got to warm them up, and you're right around 45. You're a little bit under.
Yeah.
There's tire pressure. The thing about tires, think of tires as like suspension springs. Mm-hmm. So the less pressure you have, the softer your spring. Just like body roll, everything else, it's a spring. And so your contact patch is wider, but the roll is now higher.
Right.
And you get to this thing you have to eventually calculate is sidewall flex.
Yep.
So contact patch is wider, sidewall rolls up under the tire. And when the sidewall rolls under a tire, you lose a lot of traction.
Yeah.
Because there's no grip foam. There's nothing out there to really facilitate grip. So that's why I don't air down too much. And that's why I avoid against it, because it makes, when we hit that 1.2, if we're on the sidewall, we're probably gonna have a problem with that 1.2. So I want my tire pressure up near the max. So how we were at, like, what was it, 46, 47 when we checked it? Perfect. Your max is 50. We're a few pounds under, right where they need to be.
Now, let me ask you this. One of the things I've been wanting to do for about a month now and haven't gone to Auto Hobby is to get the tires reinflated with nitrogen, because it doesn't give as much or change as much with heat. But how does that affect it driving, like on that? Would you still see a 4, 5, 6, 7 pound increase with nitrogen?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Most people think it's more consistent. It actually isn't.
Really?
Well, nitrogen, they say nitrogen is less prone to heat expansion, right? The primary reason aircraft tires use nitrogen is because there's less water molecules in it. And so you don't get icing inside the tire from flying at 35,000 feet.
Okay.
So that's why they use nitrogen. However, if you heat your tire up, the pressure is going to go up, period.
Regardless, okay.
So I say, and I've talked to other race drivers, the pro guys, my pro buddies, and yeah, there's a little bit of theory debate, but the majority of them are like, yeah, just use air.
I mean, it's really, it's really just a chemical property of it. Yeah. Does it expand with heat as much as regular?
Now, scientifically, no. Does it actually matter? Not really.
Yeah.
Because the difference is so small that you might as well just use air. The trouble you go through getting to the nitrogen isn't worth it. So just put the air in there.
All right. But because I hadn't been worried about it, because drag day we dropped the tire pressure. If I had nitrogen, I'm not going to put more air back in it, because what's the point? So that's why I didn't bother with getting the nitrogen. But
exactly,
it was something that Auto Hobby said they do. So I was like, that might be interesting. But
it's still a medium